So picking up where we left off and leaving San Francisco, making our way into Sacramento. We were staying at a room for 2 nights, and we were going to check out downtown, the Tower Bridge, Old Town Sacramento, and of course we had to do the state capitol tour. So check us out in this video as we explore Sacramento and see what it got to offer. Check it out. So after driving in and getting settled in our room and just getting some rest, the very next day we wanted to go to the state capitol first. Now there were school buses. Like I said in the last video, in San Francisco, it's spring break right now. Nothing changed up here in Sacramento. Kids everywhere, school tours. First thing we did was walk the property. Wanted to check out just the area, some of the trees, just the agriculture. It was pretty cool. They had some construction going on in the backside of the building. So we kind of just took our time with it. It was a really nice day. Nice breeze, California breeze. Weather is great. I thought these plaques up here in the front were pretty cool. Just kind of seeing Eureka and the Great Seal, and I almost look like mermaids right here. I was just kind of trying to look at those pictures and maybe decode them and see what they were depicting. I feel like when it comes to these buildings, like I say, a picture says 1,000 words. So a lot of these statues and pictures, and I mean, if they don't explain what it is on the plaque, I like to look at it and kind of try to decode it myself. I feel like they talk in code versus kind of telling you everything. So I'm someone that's really interested in history, and going to do this state capitol tour was something that's been on my list a long time. Being from California, born and raised, I always wanted to kind of travel and kind of just get the story of California's origin. And I don't believe to get the truth in textbook or in what I'm seeing here. So I like to go and I like to research and look myself and see the plaques myself and kind of decode myself. So this is going to be a real good one for me. So this is the 1906 governor's office. That's what I started off with, just kind of getting a peek inside. They don't let you go all the way in, so I kind of had to just peek in and use my camera and zoom to kind of trying to see what's on the table. And the newspaper article right here looks like it's talking about the earthquake in San Francisco. So I wish I was able to kind of just go look at it physically and not be roped off like this, but hey, I was able to zoom, get my camera, take pictures, and kind of read as much as I can. Pretty interesting. And on top of that, I don't know, just think of something about the early 1900s, craftsmanship and everything just being so much better than it is nowadays. So I definitely like looking at old antiques and just how things were made out of wood, and just, it's just so much more hardy and better than it is now. So that's another reason I like just kind of looking at that as far as besides the history. So stereo views, also known as stereographs, are pretty much images, two nearly identical pictures or prints paired to create an illusion of a three-dimensional image when viewed through a stereoscope. Now, these images were popular in the 1860s through the 1920s, were often mounted on cards or displayed as glass negatives. And this is kind of like before the motion pictures, the kind of the first way of making early 3D image technology. So I thought that was pretty cool. Kind of like studied up on that a little bit and just kind of read and took pictures of all the plaques and sayings. It was very popular in the United States and Europe. It says stereo views gained popularity during the 19th, 20th centuries. So stereo vision is kind of basically seeing through both eyes. So they say 5% of the population has a lazy eye. So 5%, 95% of the population should have stereo vision. So when you look at putting two photos side by side, and it's almost making it like seeing a photo through the human eye. It's a human eye experience. The beginning of that. and then going forward into 3D images and 3D viewings into motion picture. So it's very interesting, and it takes a lot of talent to do this stuff. That's kind of why I'm into antiques and historical things. And you see movies in IMAX today and all that, and you just kind of look at how a lot of stuff started and how much it took to get to where we're at now. Now, keep in mind, I'm doing a self-guided tour. There's actually a tour right beside me at the moment. You can join in. I wanted to do self-guided because I wanted to take my time, read everything, take pictures. But you can definitely choose self-guided, or if you want to take a tour with big groups, and they kind of explain in more detail. Each room I went to had a plaque kind of just stating what year and time, who was in office, who was the governor. I took a lot of pictures so I can read, so I can kind of keep it moving. But when you guys go, I definitely recommend, if you really want to read up on everything, to just take a lot of pictures. I wonder how much this looks like ego statue would be going for. But that's what I like about these historic buildings too. Just a lot of the interior design and everything is just, you don't see today. And this rotunda, I had to get a closer look at that, so I'm gonna get ready to make my way upstairs, so maybe we can get a better look at that. And walking upstairs, looking through the front window, you can see the Tower Bridge literally right up the street. Now, going upstairs to check out the rotunda, I've seen a lot of inmates, prisoners down there. Anybody that doesn't know California, man, from Lancaster to Kern County, Bakersfield area, there's so much land and so many prisoners out here. In the 90s with the street three strikes law, gang violence, even with NWA and rap, it all correlates. It all goes hand in hand to populate these prisons. If you weren't from here, you just think Hollywood, but there's so many fields in agriculture and modern day slavery, I must say. Just being honest. As you can see, I kind of bumped into the group tour. I listened in for a little bit just to see what they were talking about, and then went back on my way. I'm trying to see the Great Seal. This is the actual Great Seal, the original right here. So you can see the gold. You can see the bear. That's actually behind her. It's a lot to depict in that picture. But let's move on.
Who received the Medal of Honor, recipient of the 68 total honorees from the Golden State that represent the best of the best here in California. So from California, Los Angeles County, the representatives of Los Angeles County, we have 3 honorees who have earned the Medal of Honor in Vietnam. Gary Lee Liddell, Alfred Rascon, Gary Rhodes, Monterey, District 17.
Yeah, so I just actually wanted to see the experience and sit in and listen a little bit. And if you are a citizen, you are allowed to listen to what's going on in your state or your city. And I think that's something that we need to look into more, and be more in depth of what's going on in our community. Starts with your city. Sit in on these council meetings. Find out what's going on. Find out where your tax dollars is going. Why they're not fixing these potholes. And not only that, crime and how many sex offenders are in your community. These things are up for us to know. And being in California, you definitely want to check out the state capitol and see what's going on in your state, because anybody knows in California, as far as inflation, bills, and a lot of these things they're passing is not working in the actual California citizens' favor. But moving on, I like that they were showing this kind of earthquake technology and with the tectonic plates, a radar. I thought that was interesting to see, but scary at the same time. But you know, we've kind of been used to that our whole lives with this whole earthquake thing. But finishing off, there's a museum down here, and I just wanted to take a look at these pictures. Like I said earlier, you know, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So I like to look at a lot of art and pictures, and I feel like it's telling a story, or it's telling you what's going on versus always trying to read. You know what I mean? And even with the pictures and with reading, you got to kind of use your common sense and dig real deep to find out what the truth, because a lot of this history, it's sad to say, and I didn't make this video to kind of be like a negative Nancy, but I got to be honest in my content. It's a lot of lies, you know, it's a lot of lies fabricated. A lot of things weren't told right, you know, and just with everything. And we all, anybody that knows American history, we know this. But as far as I go, when I go to these places, I'm looking for the truth. You know, I'm looking for the stories that my grandmother told me, and I'm trying to find out what really happened. I'm not just going and taking things off face value as far as what I learned in school. I've never been that kid, and I'm not going to be that man. So, if you guys are watching my content and I'm going to historic sites, I'm going to dig deep. Sometimes I'll put it in the content. Sometimes I just want to show you guys and just recommend it and see if you guys want to go to these places. I enjoyed the tour. We grabbed a bite to eat, and it was time to head to Old Town Sacramento. Now, what was really cool about Old Town, which was really just a couple of miles down the way where I showed you guys where the Tower Bridge was, Old Town is literally right across. So everything was close knit. But what I liked about Old Town was just the fact that it was historic, really. When they said when people say trying to keep things in its original state, Old Town gives you that feel. I mean, we're walking on this wood. We're trying to push my son's stroller, and it's like tough because it's real wood from that time frame. And you know, just kind of looking at how the businesses were and just kind of thinking maybe dirt, more horses. You go back into the late 1800s. You know what I mean? I think that's the cool part. But not only that, they had a lot of cool shops. We went into a candy shop, got my son some candy. We didn't really hang out and do too much, but there was a lot of places to eat, a lot to see, a lot of cool businesses. But just seeing it in a historic way, like and seeing how things were, has always been intriguing to me. To go into the past, something that you can't physically see, but to get a piece of it is worth a lot. And that's just me though. A lot of people might not be interested in that, but I really am. But Old Town was great. We wanted to do the Railroad Museum, but like I said, with the spring break and the kids, it was really packed, and we're gonna have to do that next time. I really wanted to because it was right there, but sometimes you gotta just learn to fight your battles, and it was just would have been too much, too long of a wait, too many people. So we kind of just hung out by the water, by the Sacramento River, and they had a lot of old historic trains right there. And I think the line still runs right there too. I was just hanging out right here by the Sacramento River. We had a little lunch. As you can see, the Delta King right there. We're gonna walk up to that, check that out. But really cool area. checking out these trains. Like I said, this is a time in the mid 1800s with the gold rush and the railroads kind of being placed. And you still, I would say Old Town, you still can see it. I mean, it's really historic. One of the best historic places I've been to, as far as kind of trying to keep things as original as you can. Kind of with the, modern, obviously you're going to have your upgrades in downtown and areas around. But the little couple of blocks you see in Old Town, it's like you really go to a Western movie, man. And I thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah, we're just finishing checking out these railroads, making our way also to the Tower Bridge to get a closer look at the bridge. Now, this Delta King right here, I heard it's actually a hotel that you can stay in. I believe they have a restaurant in there you can eat at. That seems like that'd be a pretty cool experience. I don't know. I didn't really check out the rooms. Rooms might be small. They might not be something that we're interested in, but the experience would be cool. A lot of people want to do it, to actually be on the boat and be able to eat and stay in a room or whatever. But I just wanted to kind of get a closer look at it and check it out. It looked like the weather was starting to get a little rainy on us, so we kind of have to try to move a little bit. You know how California weather is, one minute it's sunny, one minute it's raining. But yeah, the Delta King was definitely a beautiful ship to look at, historic in itself. But it was time to kind of get a little closer to the Tower Bridge, which isn't, driving through San Francisco. Everybody knows the Golden Gate Bridge, which is obviously bigger, more to look at. But I think a lot of people underestimate this Tower Bridge. It's a cool, nice bridge. And it's not really yellow. It's, when you really get close on it, it's like a golden bridge almost. And just made me think of the Golden State. You know what I mean? It's more of a gold look to it than yellow. So I don't know. Very beautiful bridge, very beautiful city. But it was time for us to head out. Now, I did want to also go to a Kings game on this trip, but there wasn't really any good games. Nothing that I was really interested in. I'm not really a Kings fan. I'm a Lakers fan, but I would just enjoy a good basketball game. But didn't end up doing that. But maybe next time if I'm in this area. But this is just what we did in Sacramento. 2 days. Very cool trip. Nice city. I love up north. I love California in general, but Sacramento was cool, man. Very enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe next time in Sacramento I can recommend some other things to do. This was kind of just a state capitol tour, and just showing a little bit of what we saw while we were out here. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and remember to love life, cherish life, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.